is so amazing. It is so good to see so many of you. About 10 minutes ago, I went out to the table there and said, how many people do we have? And Tom and Mary Ann counted up quickly and said, 120, but we don't think everybody signed in. And then I think another 20 people probably came in after that. So we are here in strength. This is wonderful. It is so good to see people in person. Isn't this great? I want to first recognize the elected officials who are here. Bussing tables over there is my fellow county supervisor, Latifah Faisal. And somewhere our auditor, Lucy Martin, is also here. Treasurer Ted Rasmussen. Attorney Tim Meals. You notice, there's Tim. You notice I did the county officials first because, after all, we're the government that's closest to y'all. So then we also have Senator Herman Kornbach, Representative Beth Wessel-Krishel, Soil and Water Commissioner Selden Spencer, School Board Member Kelly Winfrey, Candidate for Iowa House, Penny Vossler. And we have a couple former elected officials, people who led the way for us. Jane Halliburton was here, but she said she might have to leave. Jane, you're still here? Jane, you're still here. Hey. And former legislator, both Senate and House, Ralph Rosenberg, who was over there. Where'd you go, Ralph? There he is. Okay. Somebody always gets missed, and tell me who I missed. Mary, for heaven's sake, our former county attorney, Mary Richards. Thank you. Thank you, and I apologize. Anybody else? Who? Got it. Okay. Okay, I know you want to listen to other people, but I'm the emcee, so I get a little bit of time. So I'll try to go fast. I'll talk really, really fast. Now, I thought about this, and I thought about the people who are going to be here. And some of you, like me, are lifelong Iowans. Others of you came to Iowa because of a good job. It was a good place to live. It was a good place to raise a family. You know, whether we are native Iowans and been here forever or whether we're people who chose to come here, we have various reasons for living here. We have one thing in common. We are very proud of the history of a state that has led the way in public education, has led the way in civil rights. I got a couple more. Let's plot them all. They're all important. Has led the way in access to the vote. Has led the way in welcoming immigrants. And led the way in granting marriage equality. Yes. So we have a great state, and the thing we have in common is we all want to keep it that way. And these days, there are too many things happening for the wrong reasons, as you know, and I've had conversations with several of you about this in the last hour. We have a Republican majority in our legislature that's continuing to erode local control that is traditional to Iowa government. They continue to cut taxes, the expense of education, human services, and the environment, and they are passing laws that discriminate against transgender youth. We have a Republican governor who's ignored science and whose leadership during the pandemic was partisan, and leadership I have in quotes on my speech, by the way. Partisan, to say the least. Her primary mode of operation has been denial. She favors her big money supporters over the welfare of all Iowans. We see a Republican state executive branch with officials, Republican officials who support big ag over the environment and who are working to make it more difficult for people to vote. We see a U.S. Senate that cannot move forward on President Biden's initiatives to heal our country because it lacks a clear majority of progressive Democrats. And there are other things, but I'll stop there with that list because it gets pretty depressing sometimes, doesn't it? So we do get depressed, but we know what we need to do. We need to return our state and our country to responsible governance and our public discourse to civility. We need to protect our, thank you. Yes, it's very important to do that. We need to protect our land and our water. We need to provide basic services and equal opportunities for all Iowans. We need to honestly debate the issues and encourage voters to pay attention to the data, to follow the science, and to resist being influenced by spurious claims of stolen elections and voter fraud. And we need to pass common sense gun control to protect our children. We are about to hear from several people who will help make that happen.